are you?
I'm good. How are you today, Fay?
I'm good. Hopefully good. Welcome back to our health, wellness, and lifestyle. So, doctors or medical professionals become our superheroes. So, I before I divulge the way that I've been feeling, how are you feeling and really doing today?
It's been a little bit of a rough week for me. It is, I think, Thursday, and
You're not losing
it,
track of your days like us.
I mean, the only way I know is that I get my schedule from the office, and it has the day and the date on it, or I have to look at my phone. But I guess I just hit a wall this week, and the wall, and the wall is sort of like when you don't see an end in sight. And I don't mean end as in getting my life, all of a sudden turning the switch back on, because that's unrealistic to think that that's going to happen. So it's not unrealistic thinking. It's sort of like, what do I do? Um, how do I live in this world? And that's what I've been having really difficulty with this week. Is like, because I can't, I'm doing what I can. I'm working harder than I've ever worked before, seeing more patients, talking to more people, counseling more people, doing more videos, doing radio, doing so much stuff in order to, and I think doctors struggle with this a lot, is that we give so much of ourselves. And then at some point we're depleted. And what we usually, and there's no longer that we can't go to the refueling station
No.
closed. So it's sort of, how do you navigate through this when you don't, what you're used to having at your disposal, to uh to still maintain mental health, physical health, health, emotional health, like everything. Like, how do you get through it? And that's what I've been sitting here thinking about a lot this week, in between patients and in the evenings. Just how do I get past this wall? Because right now I'm feeling really, really trapped, and I'm sure, and I've spoken to other people, and they're like, you know what? I hit the same wall this week. And I'm like, I don't know what it is about this week. Maybe it's because it's like it's May, and it's time to go outdoors and do things. And I don't know what it is, but we've been hunkered down, and we've been doing this a long time now. And it's I don't know, it's rough right now for me this week, but I'm still positive. I mean, it's not like I'm feeling depressed. I'm just, I recognized what was going on in my head, and now I'm just trying to figure out the solution to it, which I think is really kind of the key. Like, why am I feeling this way? It's like, it's the way I approach anything. Like, you come in with a problem. Well, what is that problem? Like, where is it emanating from? I'm not just going to give you a band-aid to fix it. I want to know where it's coming from, so I can fix the underlying cause. So for these feelings, I now know what the underlying cause is. So how do I fix it? Because getting angry, yelling at people, taking my frustrations out on whatever, eating on myself, overeating, like that's not going to happen. And what I was thinking was, I live alone, for better or for worse, with my dog. But what about families who are trapped together, that have never been trapped together before? Husbands and wives that were always able to get along because they each had jobs, they left each other, or teenage kids. At least they got out of the house and they went to school and they did something. Now we're all living so close together. How's everybody getting along? That's kind of what I want to know.
Wow. So it's either you read my mind, we're totally in sync. You're speaking minus seeing patients, but everything else, it's like what I've been living, doing, and breathing. And then you hit it right on the nail. Our family, okay, so when we go on family vacations, there's still things to do to be active and enjoy the vacations where we don't want to kill each other. So
Right, of course.
we're a family of 6, and I have my kids that are ranging from high school to elementary school. So you got online learning. My husband was like, I can't go through these multiple emails from the teachers. He was like done, hit his wall. So then the kids are like, what just happened? My teenage daughter, my one daughter was ready to take her driver's test. We're going to get her a car for her birthday. That didn't happen. That went up, you know. My other daughter's like, oh my God, my birthday's in May. Am I still going to be in quarantine? It's going to be the worst birthday ever. So yeah, haircuts, girls freaking out, acne breakouts. I mean, stress eating. I mean, there. I don't even. You pretty much. I can cover it all across the board. But most importantly, though, just to kind of keep it contained, I'm feeling exactly the way you're feeling. I'm sure a lot of people are. I mean, tomorrow, I didn't even realize till my morning meeting today. Tomorrow's May 1st, and it's May. We're talking people. Summer's almost here. We kick off summer Memorial Day weekend. The weather's been kind of crappy, hasn't been cooperating. You're like, is this spring, winter? Like, what's going on? You know, I think we've had more rain than the flowers even need at this point. So, like, it's
I agree.
frustrating. And then, but, you're trying to maintain a health, wellness, and lifestyle. It's a challenge. I mean, we've talked about with you the most important thing is routine. And we've tried to find a new routine, keep establishing it, eating, how it affects us, from pre-existing to new conditions, protect us from this virus. There's so much misinformation on which thank you for last time's reality check-in, what's going on. You don't understand how helpful that was for us. When we had
Oh,
our check-in with you, the feedback was unbelievable because you're a real deal. Doc, you're out there. You're seeing this. So giving us that reality check-in, every news channel, one saying one thing, one saying another thing, you just sometimes want the reality check-in, but today you're giving us another reality check-in. So we're not alone. Even superhero docs like you kind of feel the way we're feeling. I mean, and it kind of, in the best of ways, makes me feel better, and I want to, I need some key tips from you, how to process through that as you're learning to process through it, how you're processing through it, not to mask it. I don't want to become an alcoholic. I don't want to have to
yeah.
drink extra to help me relax,
No,
popping
definitely.
pills,
No, I mean, no, definitely not. But it's interesting because I think we all want to be superheroes, right? You have to be superhero mom. I have to be superhero doc. Like we all have to be superheroes in our own world, but we really don't. Like it's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to say, you know what? I really am not feeling so great today. Like I'm not, and it's not like I'm depressed. It's just I'm not feeling great today. Like my outlook isn't amazing, and whether that's got to do with the pouring rain or whether it's got to do with just life and just thinking about all of this in general, because it's becoming increasingly frustrating from a scientific point of view and from a medical point of view to understand the actions that are going on right now. And I don't think we should spend a lot of time talking about that because I think we really need to talk about what people can do. And
Exactly.
so I think this is actually almost a perfect example. Like we were sort of all last week, we were kind of like, here's what we do, and here's what we're going to do. We're going to make new plans. And then what happens to the new plans? Like somehow they kind of like we try to fall back into our old habits and our old routines. And it's kind of like sort of what I used to see when people just would come into me for dieting. They'd be all gung ho. Okay, I'm gonna lose 50 pounds. I'm gonna stop smoking. I'm gonna exercise all week, 7 days a week. I'm like, no, you're not. You're just not gonna do all of that. So bite off a little bit. That just take a little bit of that, and we can do. Okay, I'm like, all right. So let's focus on your eating. Like, let's get that taken care of. Then we'll add in a little exercise. Then maybe you can stop smoking. It's just like it's a little bit, because if we try to be superheroes in everything we do, we're bound to fail, especially in this time when we don't have our go-tos, our regular routines to fall into. Oh, I feel bad. This is what I usually do. I usually go to the gym and work it out. Well, I can't I can't go to a spin class and spin for an hour and bike 15 miles up a hill and not be able to breathe anymore. I just can't do that. I could buy a bike, but that seems kind of, I don't know, not right now. I'm still going to give it some time,
Yeah.
but so it's let's get back to maybe we need accountability. Maybe we write it down, right? What's the one thing we're going to do for ourselves this week? Find the thing that's bothering you. And then what's the one thing you can do for yourself that week? Or about that. And always have it sort of like in front of you. Oh, I told myself I wasn't going to feel this way. Well, acknowledge that you're feeling that way, but maybe experience it in a different way. Don't don't yell at your husband about something. Have a more, I'm not saying you yell at your husband. I'm just saying, don't yell at your spouse. Don't yell at your kids. Like, maybe we learn how to handle things differently, or maybe we have different conversations about what's troubling us. And your poor daughter's 15th birthday. Well, it's not going to be her worst birthday ever.
I just
I can tell her that between 15 and our age, there'll be worse birthdays. Just because you're inside. I mean, at least if it's a nice day, at least you have a backyard that you can go out in, and maybe socially distance, have some people over, depending on what part of the month it is and what county we're living in, and
and
et
weather.
cetera, et cetera, et
You gotta
cetera.
be a little creative on that. But one key thing you pointed out, it's okay to hit a wall. Actually, not one, a few. It's okay to hit a wall. Don't try to fix everything, because it's almost like I feel guilty for feeling that way, like for allowing myself to feel that way.
Yeah.
And it's great because it's nice to have that check-in with you again, where not only do you feel it, but it's okay to feel it. Okay, so now what are you going to do about it? You're not going to solve all of it. Start a little bit at a time. I know you're frustrated. Maybe breathe more. Maybe step away. It is what it is. You can't solve it. Fine. Walk away. You'll come back and you'll address it when you're ready.
Don't answer the phone.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, because I end up, I was on, I was FaceTiming with a friend last night, and he and his girlfriend, they're out in the Hamptons, and so we just check in every couple days with each other, and it's sort of like it's that same I lost my train of thought. What was I talking about that? What did you say before that?
Well, I said, like, kind of when you want to allow yourself, step away. Don't get upset. Don't yell.
Oh, yeah. So we were talking about relaxation. I'm like, I don't really feel relaxed anymore because I'm always on.
Yeah.
Patients are calling me all morning. They're texting me all days out of the night. And then I'm seeing my friends via FaceTime. I'm used to, like, seeing them, grabbing a drink, having dinner,
Exactly.
having gone to the gym. I come home, I watch TV for an hour. It shuts my brain down.
Exactly.
And then I go to sleep. And now that whole cycle has been disrupted.